What's going on, Devoted Geeks? Dallas here with Geek Devotions. What you're about to watch here is part one of a two-part breakdown of our debriefing from Geek'd Con 2025. If you listen to our podcast, Calm Talk by Geek Devotions, the audio is one long strand. It's a rather long informational conversation. The front half is Celeste and I talking about the highs and the lows of the con, and the back half, we're talking about some pictures and stuff that we saw. For the YouTube side of things, we decided to break this up into two portions. So this is part one, where we're talking about our highs and the lows of the con. And then in the second part, which hopefully you guys will be able to see, there should be a link in the corner. If nothing else, there will be a link in the description of the video down below. Will be where we go through our pictures from the 3 days and kind of talk through things a little bit more. So before we start, though, I do want to say thank you guys so much who have supported Celeste and I with Geek Devotions. You guys were the reasons we were able to be on the con floor. And if you'd like to help to continue to support the ministry of Geek Devotions, go to our website, geekdevotions.com. That being said, let's get in to the conversation about Geek Con. Welcome to a special live recording of Calm Talk by Geek Devotions, the podcast that's on Geek Devotions, show from Devoted Geeks here, devoted, letting you know you're loved. And today, ladies and gentlemen, for episode 206, we're going to talk about Geek Con. What is happening here? Celeste, something's happening on the planet Geekery right this second.
Glix, priority alpha command, open comms now.
Loading geek culture language patches. Loading spiritual applications. Loading grace and hope directives. Comms opening in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, Devoted Geeks. Glad to have you guys here with us today. As I said, this is a special live recording of our podcast. It's actually being recorded through Twitch right now and YouTube. And so we have a chat going on the screen. We got our prayer requests over here. And for those of you who don't know what happens during our live streams, normally we have a running sticky note with prayer requests that we post in our Discord channel after the stream. So it's going to be a good time. In the background, ladies and gentlemen, you will hear the lovely sounds of my beautiful bride,
Celeste.
And today, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about Geek Con 2025 or Geek Con X. Da, 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 da.
It's kind of weird that they called it Geek Con X. Like, I know why they did it,
right?
But strange.
It was a little odd, but it is. It is what it is. But hey, the structure for today, guys, we're going to give kind of just a general overview of what we thought about the con and how it went for us. And then we're going to take a little break in the middle. And then when we come back from our break, we're actually going to be talking about, we're going to be looking at pictures. We're going to go through the pictures on our Facebook page and just kind of talking about the memories, some of the people we saw, all that kind of good stuff. Just real quick, acknowledging our chat here. They're going to be coming up in conversation as we go. Retro Rewind goes, Geek Con X taking place of 20XX. That's correct. Celeste talking to Paladin Pirate about something about cosplay and makeup. What is this, Celeste?
Oh, he was asked. I was responding as to why my face isn't going to be on the screen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Jason goes, Jesus rules. And Stacey says hello to Celeste. Dale says, the frustration, the X. What? Nope. That's not the frustration.
Frustration?
I mentioned we might talk about a frustration that I had during the con. But let's jump into it, ladies and gentlemen. This past weekend was Geek Con. It was the 10th year of the event, and it is our fourth time to have a booth. And let's jump into it. Celeste, where do you want to start with this conversation? You want to talk about highs?
Yeah, let's talk about highs. Let's start off on a good note.
Yes, let's start off on a good note. I'm going to jump off the bat right now. I was incredibly blessed by the number of people who just came up to our booth to say hi. Like, they knew who we were. They'd been following Geek Devotions, or they had seen us at previous cons, and they may not necessarily agree with us, but they appreciated us being there, and they came and wanted to just spend time. And I genuinely appreciated that because when you do stuff like this, sometimes you feel like, all right, is anybody listening? Are we making a difference? And it was good to see that fruit take place.
It was.
So
especially for people like Josh, who got to come to the Devoted Geek together this year.
Yeah.
And then we had someone, a young lady who came up and she goes, I've been following you and I wanted to say hi. And so that was really cool because it reminds you that not everybody is super active and commenting. So we don't see everybody who sees our stuff.
Exactly.
We would love to.
Right.
But if they don't put themselves out there, then we don't necessarily see it.
Exactly. That is a generally Josh coming to Geek Con or come to the Devoted Geek together was a win for me also.
Yeah.
He's kind of been in our chat. Well, not necessarily chat, but he's been in the comment sections on Facebook and he's done several other things. And we met him briefly at Geek Con last year. Mm-hmm. And but the fact that he came and hung out with us, hung out with some of the people, that was really cool. That was great.
What was cool to me was we also got to hear an amazing testimony about his daughter.
Yes.
How Jesus has just changed her life. And we love that. We got to celebrate that with him.
Yeah, exactly. And so I love celebrating those type of things already. But then having at the table, all the stuff going on, that was such a great moment. Can I give another one?
Sure.
So if you guys listen to Com Talk, you guys know that we interviewed Ron from Studio Bless. They're creating an anime that's Christian based and everything like that. Him and his entire crew came with us to Devoted Geek together.
Yeah.
And so we got to hang out with them and talk with them and just really great. And we went up, visited his booth several times and he came down and hung out with us. It was just really, really awesome to do that.
It was.
So, we got a comment on YouTube, Kathina Gallery. That was awesome. I'm a volunteer with a ministry called Jesus Otaku. Oh. And we have a booth at Anime Expo. Very cool.
Nice.
And I had people like that coming up to my booth saying hi. Many people recognize us at the con. That's so cool, Kathina.
That's awesome. So back to the conversation about Ron.
Right.
Not to cut you off.
No, go.
I really need him to let us know what his mom's name is because I just called her mom all weekend and he never told me her name and she never told me her name. So Ron's mom, ma'am, what's your adult name?
What's your adult name? Ron, if you're listening, let us know, bud.
What's your mom's adult name? That's
so funny. That is so funny. So what was a win for you, babe?
This is going to sound strange, but how many cards we gave out?
Oh, like our business cards and stuff?
Our business cards, yeah. We bought a fresh box of business cards because we were almost out of the ones that we bought for our very first Geek Con.
Right.
And I want you to hear that, for our very first Geek'd Con. No, it wasn't even that. It was Squad Con.
Oh gosh, you're right.
It was the ones that set off the it's a bomb people, and it wasn't. It was just a cardboard box with cardboard cards that didn't show up on the X-ray.
When did we go to Squad? You keep talking. I'm gonna look up when we went to Squad Con.
It would have been in 2019.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So this is how long it has taken us to get through this box of cards. Mm-hmm. And we gave out over 3/4 of the box. Mm-hmm. We don't have very many business cards left. And the fact that we gave out that many cards, now some people, it's going to end up in their back pocket. It's going to end up in the bottom of their bag or in the trash or whatever. But we talked to enough people that we gave out that many cards.
Yeah.
We've impacted that many. Like that was a great metric for me.
Yeah.
Because we don't go by sales
right
when we sell things.
No, we don't.
We are not salespeople. We're terrible at it. We made the same thing we made last year, I think. We might have made a couple dollars more.
Yes, we brought in a grand total of $40, guys. That's it we lose money at Geek Con.
We do.
Paladin says 3/4. Yeah, 3/4 of a brand new box is gone. Like I didn't even think about that. You're right. So 5 years ago we went to Squad Con and we got that
would have been 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Because it's 2025.
Well, Yes, you're correct, but month-wise.
Okay.
According to YouTube, it's 5 years. So,
Okay.
but yeah, that's wild. That we really did. We had that many people come by our booth and ask questions.
That we gave away more cards than we had given away in 5 years.
Now, to be fair, we did give quite a bit to also Ron to give away upstairs.
We did.
Yeah.
We did. But he was giving away so many, he had to come get more.
Oh, yeah, that's true. He did. I forgot about that. Drew says, I have you have YouTube on TV. Solely my entertainment setup is coming back. I'm so glad to hear it, brother. Oh, my gosh. So, but yeah, man, you're right, Celeste, though. I hadn't even thought about that. Like,
well, I'm always looking for the win, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, what's the encouragement here?
Sure.
And having people come up and recognize us, that's one of the wins. That's a way that we can go, what we're doing is making a difference.
Right.
The giving away the business cards tells me that being at Geek'd Con was worth it. Because it's that many people that we've reached out and touched, that many people that will hopefully reach out to find our stuff and be encouraged and know that God loves them and cares for them and has a plan and a purpose for their life.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, there's seeds that we've planted.
Right.
Quite literally.
Literally, they're the Korok seeds from from Zelda.
Oh, man. Kathina says, great seeing more nerdy, geeky ministries going to these spaces where the Lord is needed. Jesus Otaku couldn't get a booth this year, but have been at the con since 2014. That's cool. That's really cool, sis. So, oh, man. I'm still just thinking about that fact of the number of people we talked to.
Yeah.
And that we ended the first day, and I was like, we had a steady stream of conversations. We had a few times where it was kind of quiet, downtime. But we had a steady stream of conversations basically all day, talking to people in some fashion about one thing or another. Be it just like, oh, this is what we do, to like longer conversations about it, or to people who came and they're just hanging out at our booths.
Yeah.
And so it was a great opportunity to do that. I mean, we are so thankful to be able to do this.
We are.
To just be able to be on the floor and love people in a real way. And, when we started this 9 years ago, we were just taking our camera and hoping we didn't get in trouble.
Yeah.
Interviewing people. and it was good. We did stuff. We built relationships with certain people. But since going into this new mode of things, it's been different.
Yeah. Well, and it gives us some I feel like gravitas is the wrong word. It gives us some credibility that we are there in the space as a vendor with the people who are coming.
Right.
Like, just showing up and walking around is great, but putting in the money to get a space, going up there, getting up early on the weekend,
right,
changing our normal schedule to do this gives us more skin in the game.
Yeah. Taking off work.
Yeah.
Having put in extra work ahead of time to handle the taking off work.
And then the fact that the vendors can tell that we don't sell a lot, so they know that the vendors know that we're not doing this for the money.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we're not there because we're wanting to be rich and famous.
Right.
Not opposed to the rich part, but I mean, it's just not a thing that's happened.
We're just genuinely there just to love people.
Yeah.
And I think like this year we've seen some of the fruit of that. You know, we had one individual who they just hung out at our booth all weekend, and they went out of their way to come back to say goodbye to us every night.
The one person who came to show you their art, the art that they'd found, they came when you weren't at the booth the last night.
Oh, really?
And they were like, I finished it out. I've gotten everything I wanted. And it was a image of Heath Ledger's Joker.
Oh, wow.
It looked really cool. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's cool. I didn't realize until later when you were talking about it to me that they had been showing you so we've become someone that people want to go, hey, look what I got.
Yeah. Like just to celebrate people, you know, and to love on them in the moment. We had this one guy, real quick, catch on the chat. Mangaka says, both my boys enjoyed having the booth as a place to rest for a minute when things got crazy. That's one of the reasons we love doing what we do, is that we were able to do that, to make that happen. Three geeky guys for God. Jason says, I 3D print keychains with our website on it to make it less likely for people to throw out. I'm just hoping that they make a small difference. Man, every little bit of thing like that, it counts. It helps. Stacy says, when we went for the first time, me and Dale didn't know y'all yet. I don't remember what year it was. It was like the second year of Geek'd Con.
When we met Dale, yeah.
Absolutely. So, but we had this, like, again, just the moments. There was this guy that walked past us.
No, it would have been the third year we met Dale.
Oh, yeah.
Because the second year of Geek'd Con, we had just started. Yeah, you're right.
So there was this guy who walked past us on the con floor, and he was kind of bald-headed. Oh, he was bald-headed. And but he's wearing this trench, this leather coat and stuff like that. And he had this look on his face, and I'm like, and something just, a light bulb went off in my head. I'm like, and I yelled, I was like, hey, are you Eccleston? Like dressed up as Eccleston, like the ninth Doctor from Doctor Who. And he's like, turned around to me and looked confused. I was like, are you supposed to be Eccleston from Doctor Who? And the dude lit up. Like, this is an older gentleman.
Yeah.
Like he's, mid 40s, 50s. And he lit up like a Christmas tree because I recognized it. And he was like, oh, my sonic screwdriver's on the fritz, so I don't have it. And I was like, bro, this is great. And we got to pose together.
Yeah.
Those small moments of recognizing what people are into, recognizing what's their passions, and then enjoying it with them and encourage them. We had this young lady walk past with a friend, and I recognized her from the what was the anime that we were watching? It was anime about gambling.
Bet.
Well, that was the Netflix version of it.
I can't.
Kakagori, something like that.
Kakagori.
And she's dressed up as the girl from that. And so I yelled at her, I was like, hey, you want to make a bet? And she looked at me kind of strangely. And she realized I was talking about her cosplay. And she was like, oh my God, somebody recognized my cosplay. Because she put it together. Like, she got pieces and she showed stuff together. Mm-hmm. And then her friend, she did all stuff for her friend for their cosplay. And so for a moment, I'm going, these were great. And she's like, somebody understood.
Yeah. Well, and then also because she felt like she came by on Sunday, where you have the people who have put in hours and months into their cosplay and they're making it from scratch. And you could tell she kind of felt bad that all she had done, and I say all with quotation marks, all she had done was add some embellishment to make it look more accurate. And we were able to go, no, that looks great. You did a great job. Yeah. We were able to encourage her in what she had done because legitimately, I didn't do anything for my April O'Neil cosplay except for buy things that worked and piece them together.
Right.
All we did for yours was rip the sleeves off of a jacket. So, but we still did that. It still counts as the creativity of piecing it all together.
Exactly.
And so it was nice to be able to encourage her creativity.
Right. So those were, I don't know, guys. Like that's the stuff I get excited about, is making those small moments happen for people to like, because again, you see some of these people, and again, they're in a place that they're like, people get it, and when somebody understands you for the first time, it's like, wow. And the problem is that there will be people who pretend to understand what you got to manipulate you, not just to care about you. And so to have somebody go, that's amazing, for no alternative motive except for just to love on you for a moment, that can change a person's life.
Yeah.
So I can go on this for a minute. So what's another win for you?
I got to hang out with my dad.
Yes, how cool was that?
My dad came to the con, and that was a lot of fun. We had some good dad-daughter time, just the two of us. So it was nice to just walk around and then take him to introduce him to my friends.
Right.
Like the people that we see every year, like Roland Paris, like John Stout. I didn't get to introduce him to Donna, but the just being like, hey, this is my dad. This is the reason I am geeky. Right. Like, he's the one who introduced me to all of this, to be able to share that with him.
Yeah. That's such a cool moment. I was so glad that you got to have the opportunity to just spend time with your dad. That was another cool win for me, was seeing, I saw several parents there with their kids. One of the people who was kind of hanging out with her booth a little bit, she brought her dad, and it wasn't really his scene, but all right. So context, the con, there was a group there. They were doing like playing cards. They did something really cool. They had a scavenger hunt on campus, and what they did is they made like trading cards for Geek'd Con, and then this was genius. Every few hours they'd go out and they would scatter the cards around the con floor. Like they'd go into the bathrooms, the railings, upstairs, downstairs, and then they had a master list card that had 34 cards. And if you got all 34, you got to get the special card that they had also. And so you have people walking around all day trying to find this stuff. Well, the girl that was coming to our booth, she and her dad got to spend the day hunting down all these cards together and going out of their way, and that just being real cool. She was telling me they try to get a little tricky with that at one point in time. They saw the guy leave the booth, and she's like, all right, Dad, you stay here and you do this. I'm going to follow him. So she told me she logged 20,000 steps, but it was 20,000 steps with her dad for the whole day. And I love the fact we saw so many parents there with their kids. All right, so your dad was a win.
Yeah.
Any other big wins for you that you're like, I want this. This was something that really just hit me.
I got to meet John Barrowman.
Yeah, that was the thing this list did.
And I got to take a picture with him. Mm-hmm. And then I got to go to a panel, which was wild.
Yes.
Mr. Barrowman is not a believer, and he definitely has some opinions that differ from me, but he is an entertaining person, and he legitimately cares about the fans.
Right.
There was a guy who came to the panel, and we're talking about encouraging people's creativity. He was dressed as Captain Jack. Like, he had the jacket, he had the everything. Like, he could have been on the Dancing with Rose on the spaceship. That's how great his cosplay looked. And when he got up to the mic to talk to John Barrowman, he goes, first off, I'm going to apologize for cosplaying your character at such an advanced age. And he goes, John Barrowman goes, whoa, wait a minute. Don't apologize. And he's like, well, I don't look as good as you do. And he goes, that's because all of you have watched my shows enough that I can afford Botox and hair dye. So he told him, he said something, and it really, really struck me. And he goes, never apologize for having fun. Yeah. It doesn't matter if you are not exactly like the character in your face. Right. Because you're older or you're younger. Never let anyone make you feel guilty for that. Yeah. And it's just, he really legitimately showed care, and I appreciate that, even though, again, we disagree on quite a few things. Yeah. But
well, that's the thing is, we had this conversation about the whole honor your mother and father aspect, and what do you do if you have ungodly parents who didn't do right? And it's this, well, there's still things in them that God's given them. God still built them in a certain way for a certain function. It's just that they've chosen not to walk in those things for one reason or another. And every person, God has gifted them in some fashion, and his fingerprint is still there of a calling that he has for their lives. And we can see those things. We can see the shadows of those things come out. So he may not walk in what you and I walk in the fullness of it, but there's still a blessing there that God has. And, if he comes to the Lord one day, Lord willing, he's going to do some amazing things for the kingdom of God, but there's still some great things God is going to do through him, whether he likes it or not. I'm not saying that, he's,
Right. God can still use him even if he doesn't willingly go, I'm going to do this for God.
Exactly. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So downsides, we want to get into that conversation?
Briefly.
Downside number one, Celeste went to go get the cinnamon cashews and peanuts, and they were closed by the time we got there.
So disappointing.
Womp, womp, womp.
We get them every year, but we were trying to wait to go up together,
right?
Because they were upstairs this year,
right?
And get a caricature done of ourselves, and we were going to get the nuts after that,
right?
And it was later because of reasons,
right?
And so they were just gone. They had already left,
packed up and gone.
I was so sad. I was like, you were here before we went in there, and now you're gone.
Yep.
It was sad. It's fine. That's a silly downside.
Yeah. Downside number two, I went to go buy something I've been wanting to buy for 3 years, and the vendor was gone.
A lot of the downsides are the vendors being gone.
Because we waited too long. Hello, Novice Maxis. Welcome to our live recording of our podcast. Glad to have you here. So, trying to think. The big thing that was frustrating to me, I'll share it with you guys. We had a really interesting moment.
That's one way to put it.
With a gentleman who showed up. It was an older gentleman. He came by our booth, and he stopped. He's looking at our stuff. He's examining it. He's looking at our shirts, and he's asking questions about the shirts that we're selling. And I'm explaining to him the symbolism that's on it, the Japanese and what the Japanese means in it, all this other stuff. And he's like, oh, wow, okay, cool. And he starts asking questions about who we were and all this other stuff. And I'm like, okay, maybe something's going to happen here. Maybe he's going to buy a couple shirts. Maybe we're making a great connection or something like that. And all of a sudden, he just goes in on some stuff. And I'm not going to repeat some of the things he said. Because
they are terrible, and we don't want it on the internet that we said any of this.
Yeah, but
he is wrapped up in pride and misdirection.
Yeah, he's very much this is the way it needs to be. And he was borderline accusing us of not really sharing, of not being Christian. And basically, many of the ideas of the protesters that we ran into years beforehand, he was voicing. Paladin puts in the chat, similar to the screamers that started Geek Devotions. Yeah, basically, on the con floor. And it was so weird, man, because I had this... He was at our booth for 45 minutes.
Yep.
And I was gracefully just, yeah, this is this. And I'm redirecting him. I was like, you're saying this, man, but that's that's not right. This is where this needs to go here. And it was just, I was trying my best to redirect the conversation, not in I want to ignore it, but in let's bring correction because you're really off balance with what you're saying or right out just wrong scripturally. And it got really awkward, and it frustrated me, guys, because if people heard some of the things he was saying pridefully, it could set some people back.
Yeah.
And it would just confirm in them the belief that God doesn't care about them and that there's no hope. And that frustrated the mess out of me.
Yeah.
So much.
It also frustrates me for him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was originally within the conversation, and once he started going down a path that was more negative, I went, I'm going to remove myself from this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to grab a bottle of water and focus on the other people that are coming up, because he was there for 45 minutes. So we had people coming up and looking at the stuff and talking to us and showing things. And like, the con was going on around us.
Like, it wasn't like this was beforehand or anything like that. Like, this is in the middle of it.
And so it just makes me sad for him, because his view of the scriptures is limited.
Incredibly. And not even like, he was suggesting that there were some people who were unsavable.
Which is mind-boggling, because that is the whole purpose of Jesus dying on the cross.
Right.
Is that anyone, no matter what they've done, can come to the Father.
Yeah.
And also, no one is good enough without Jesus.
Exactly. Paladin, this was on Sunday morning. Like, con opens at 10, and it was Sunday morning.
And he was one of the first people in.
Yep. Novice. Yeah, protesters. They're legitimate. There have been, in the years past, people outside protesting the con, waving flags and telling people they're all going to hell.
They were there this year, too.
Were they?
Yeah.
So just being dumb. So
Paladin, one of the reasons that I stepped away from the conversation is I had the thought of, well, if you're so high and mighty, why aren't you in church? And then I went, that's not a graceful way to say that. I should step back before I do something that will bring shame to the gospel.
yeah. And that's wisdom, though.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of you. And again, according to Celeste, I did it well. I was very control of myself, and I'm baffled by it. My head has been racing through the conversation for a couple of days, going, how did this happen? And then I'm going, was the conversation fruitful? Have I had the opportunity to maybe plant some seeds in him to make him change the way he sees how he does ministry, how he reaches people, or even how he sees some people?
Or at least just having a fuller understanding of the gospel. Like, there is a place for people who are more blunt.
Sure.
And less loving than we are.
Sure.
Because there are people who need that.
Yeah. There's a time and place for certain things.
Their place is not necessarily on the con floor, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. But there is a place for people who have that personality.
Right.
But to have the idea that there are people who have done too much outside of the what is it? You know what I'm talking about? The one thing that
Blasphemy of the Holy Spirit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the exception of blasphemy of the Holy Spirit. Like, that's such a sad way to live as a Christian.
Yep. Catch up on the chat here. I just don't understand if he truly feels that way. Why was at the con? I don't know, brother.
That I was questioning that too.
Especially on a Sunday.
Yeah.
But, and I say that at some point he informed me that he's a church hopper, and he goes to all the other churches, and so it gave him the right to judge all the churches, but we're not going to get into that conversation.
No.
Paladin says, your highs made Satan bring out the big guns. It may be. And that was another thing. And I'm hoping that there's some side fruit, because there are a couple people who came by our booths who we've been actively ministering to for a little bit, and they overheard my conversation with that guy for at least a little bit.
Yeah.
And I am hoping, and I am praying that what they heard was the truth of the gospel coming through me, and not the pride of the man.
Yeah.
That was coming through the other guy that just affirms what they believe about Christianity.
Yeah. Definitely.
Moncos says, sounds like you both represent Christ well, even to those who should already know him. Jason says those protesters are the reason Geeky Guys for God started. I've actually had really good conversations with people inside the cons talking about them and how they misrepresented Christ. Same.
Yeah.
There was a guy, Jason, continuing, there was a guy with a loudspeaker outside WonderCon who just made personal insults. Golly. Lord, just be with these people. Change their mindset, Lord.
Change their hearts.
Yeah. So, Stacy, we appreciate that. All right. So that was the frustrations. We tried to do certain things too late, and then we had somebody just being dumb.
Yeah. Other than that, the con was great. I know that the team who set up the con had some frustration at the beginning of the week, but things went well.
Yeah.
Like, there were lots of people. I think that while upstairs was quieter than they probably would have preferred, they still had a fairly, like, every time I went up there were people up there,
right,
that weren't vendors. So I think it was a good con overall. So shout out to Greg Adams for pushing through and making things work so well.
Absolutely. Him and his team are amazing, guys, and I'm just telling you, I'm genuinely thankful and blessed. I'm thankful for their team, and thankful for the opportunity to do this. And a couple quick shout outs before we go to a commercial break. First off, our vendor neighbors, Jessica's freeze dried sweets. Is that it?
Yes, ma'am.
And
yes, sir. Sorry, I said the wrong thing.
Super sweet lady. Her and her daughter are working their booth. They do freeze dried candies and
anything. Freeze dried anything.
They had freeze dried corn, guys. Cajun corn,
and it's good.
Don't know why.
Dang it.
Don't know why. Freeze dried Rice Krispie treats. Heck to the yes-o. Oh man. Paul J. Power says, I heard yes, man. Oh man. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna do a quick commercial. Also the second other neighbor, Man-Made Soaps. Love those guys so much. Appreciate them.
They are always fun to be around.
Word. So, all right, we're gonna go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're gonna look at pictures from Geek'd Con and then bring it to a close. Hey, thanks for watching this episode where we talked about our highs and lows of Geek'd Con. It was a great conversation. Make sure you click the button to the side where you'll see part 2 of our conversation where we go through the pictures and all the great stuff that happened at Geek'd Con in a little bit more detail. And don't forget to check out our podcast, Com Talk by Geek Devotions, on all your favorite podcast catchers, including Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay devoted, peace and love.